Okay, so almost a year ago, I reviewed the Lowepro powder, which is a great backpack, and I use it pretty much all the time still, but sometimes that backpack is just a bit too big, so I was in the market for something actually a little bit smaller when Lowepro spontaneously reached out to me about the Lowepro Photosport 3. And this bag is 24 liters. They sell a version that's 15 liters, but honestly, this bag's already small enough, so unless you have like a tiny camera, I really wouldn't recommend getting the 15-liter version. But let's talk about this bag. So I have several qualifications for a good camera backpack, and the first one is that it has to be comfortable. It's a backpack and you're gonna be carrying it on hikes and things like that, so if it's not comfortable, it's pretty much just useless. The second important factor for me is that it needs to hold enough for a big day hike, so you can bring your food, your water, your extra clothes in addition to your camera gear, and that's a really important thing, especially with a backpack that's focused for photo, sport, and hiking and stuff like that. You just need to be able to fit that other important stuff. And then of course, it's a camera backpack, so it needs to be able to hold your camera essentials. And then lastly, because it is a camera backpack, your camera needs to be easily accessible, so you need to be able to get to your camera quite quickly if there's a shot that you want to take really quickly. So after using this backpack quite extensively for a weekend in Red Rock, Nevada, I have a pretty good idea on how it works, how it fits my needs, and whether or not I can recommend it to you. So let's jump into it. All right, so first things first, in terms of comfort, I have no complaints about this bag. I think it's quite comfortable and you can carry quite a bit of weight in here without it getting uncomfortable. At least for me, I'm like over 6 feet tall, so bags are always a bit short, and this one is the same. The straps don't go down to my waist, they're kind of around my stomach, but that's pretty normal for me. So besides that, the bag is really comfortable. It has nice mesh on the back, and you can hold, like I said, a decent amount of weight. Now, if we look at the backpack, this is how it's laid out. Basically, we have a little brain on the top, which is just a tiny little compartment. All I can pretty much fit in here are some sunglasses, that's about it. Then in the top, you have your main just open compartment. So as you can see, you can hold a decent amount of stuff. I was able to hold all the essentials like snacks, a lunch, some extra clothes, stuff like that. On the back of the backpack, there's this little expandable pouch where you can stuff something like a jacket. I found a puffy worked really well in here just to stick on the outside so it's easily accessible. On the right-hand side, you have a pouch for a water bottle or a tripod. And then on the other side, you have your camera cube compartment. So basically this zips open, and inside you have a camera cube where you can store all your camera essentials, as you can see. And then lastly, against your back, you have this little compartment here where you can have a water bladder. I don't think it holds too much, and it's a little bit weird to have it compressed against your back. It kind of bulges out, so I wouldn't really recommend that, but you can stick other things in here like a laptop. So in terms of storage, it holds a decent amount, definitely enough for a regular day hike where you have your lunch, some extra clothes, and your camera stuff, but I really wouldn't take it any further, and I did a climbing trip with it where I had like climbing shoes, chalk bag, harness, extra stuff like that, and it was really pushing it. I had to attach it to the outside, and it barely fit. So really this backpack is just for medium-sized day hikes. In terms of build quality, I have to say that this backpack is quite well made. Most Lowepro products are, but yeah, this one just feels pretty solid and like it's gonna last for quite some time. One comment I saw from other people though is that this drawstring on the top compartment feels a bit weak, and I have to agree. They could have made that a lot thicker, and it feels like after too many pulls, you might be able to rip the string out. So just something to keep in mind. They might want to think about thickening that up because it doesn't close too tight and it can be a bit finicky. But besides that, the bag is really lightweight and still feels really sturdy, so those are great things. All right, so let's talk about the camera part. So as you can see, this is the camera cube that fits inside of the backpack. And if I open it up, you can see it's not very big. You can't store a ton of gear in here. So as you can see, that's about it. It's pretty small. You're not gonna be bringing a lot. You can fit like a camera and maybe a lens or a few accessories in here, but you're not gonna be bringing your whole camera setup. The camera cube is pretty nice and relatively well padded, and it just slides inside the compartment on the side of the bag. But one thing I have to say about this is that you're only able to really access your camera easily from the outside of the backpack. So basically you open up the side and all you get is this, where you just have your camera. You can grab it quite easily, but if you want to get to any of the other compartments in there, you have to remove the whole thing from the backpack, unzip the whole thing, just to say grab a lens in here and then swap it on your camera, and then put the other one here, zip it back up, stick it back inside of the backpack. So it's definitely a process if you want to access other gear in the camera cube besides just the camera. So unlike other backpacks which have rear entry where you can see everything at once, this thing has to be properly removed. And just because I know a lot of people ask, yes, you can fit a Peak Design quick carry on the front strap here, so you don't have to worry about that, which is really nice. Oh, and one more really cool thing about this backpack is that if you want to use the full compartment, if you don't even want to bring a camera, what you can do is basically extend this bottom part here that separates the camera cube from the top bit, place it flat on the bottom here, and now you have an entire backpack which is empty from bottom to top, where you can just stuff full of gear, and it would make a really nice hiking backpack for maybe a bit bigger trip. This backpack is currently priced at $230, which might be a little bit steep for what you're getting, but again, it's really well built and holds pretty much all you need for a decent sized day hike with camera essentials. So with that, you really can't go wrong, and if you want to check it out, a link will be in the description as always. But that's it for today. If you like this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.